Us here with Pacers Sports and Entertainment. Travel home safely. Go Fever!
Imagine this. On a Friday night, the Fever players are competing on the court. Who can we see? It was none other than Connor McFry at the courtside. Sitting pretty next to Pacer superstar is Caitlin's boyfriend, Tyrese Haliburton. However, this is when things go crazy. According to the Indie Stars, when Connor, who is more than just arm candy, is really bonkers in support of his gal, we're talking standing ovations and crazy cheers. Peterson, Chloe before the game began, McCaffrey and Haliburton stood up to cheer for every big Fever play. He also made it clear that he loved Clark's pregame attire by sharing a picture of his girlfriend on Instagram stories with the AEM emoji. McCaffrey, who celebrated his one-year anniversary with Clark last April, is still a huge support system for rookie Phenom, who sent a heartfelt birthday message to McCaffrey in July. "I'm grateful to have someone as unselfish and loving as you in my life. I hope this year is the one where you finally find a way to outshine me. I will always love you," Clark said to the former Iowa Hawkeye on Instagram. When the Indiana Fever defeated the Los Angeles Sparks 93-86 on Wednesday, rookie Caitlin Clark became the fifth player in WNBA history to record 2 triple-doubles in a season. It was another historic night in the league. Following her elite-level effort against the Sparks, the rookie shot 47.1% from the field and finished with 24 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds. Clark met NBA player Tyrese Haliburton and shared a moment with her boyfriend Connor McCaffrey on the sidelines of the game. The two of them were seated together courtside, and Clark became the fastest player in WNBA history to record 100-plus three-pointers. She has been sensational in her first season in the league, and fans look forward to the rookie breaking records in every game. Clark leads the league in average assists, which has improved the play of players Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey, and her abilities as a scorer and a playmaker have helped open openings for the Fever. Mitchell finished with 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists in the victory over LA. Boston scored 24 points, grabbed 14 rebounds, and dished her 4 assists in one of her greatest performances of the season.
It's fun for myself, a lot of fun. I think a lot of these cities that we're still going to now is like kind of my second time, so I know what to expect, what the venue's like, but the crowds, that's never something that gets old or something that you get used to. It's super fun for myself, and every place is still really different and unique in their own way. We're just in Minnesota, and now we're here in Atlanta, and the arenas are different. I felt like the last time we were here, there was like a lot of just basketball fans, a lot of people that really appreciate the game and understand the game and wanted to support the game of basketball, especially women's basketball. So I expect the same, and for myself, like it's really fun getting to see young kids in your jersey or whoever it is, and you're trying to take some time to interact with them.
ESPN chose to reveal some shocking information regarding Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever because the WNBA playoffs are quickly approaching, tensions are higher than ever, teams are fighting for those vital playoff berths, and every game matters.
I'm just trying to take it game by game. I feel the best I've probably felt all year long from a comfortability standpoint, but also from just how my body feels and understanding the game and everything like that. I still feel like I'm learning every single day, and I still feel like there's just so many areas for me to continue to improve, and I think that's the most exciting part for myself, and I think also for our team. You still find areas where we kind of have a lapse, and that was the case for Minnesota, where I think Christy broke it down, and in about like 6 minutes of gameplay, we gave up like 30-some points. So it's like those little margins, you can't make those mistakes versus these teams. It really costs you. You can maybe give it up one time where they go on a little run, but you can't give up 2 or 3 runs. It's really hard to recover from that. So I think just continuing to push myself and be a good leader and find my voice too. Obviously that can be hard at times as a rookie and as a point guard, but that's something that's going to be very important for this team down the stretch. And every single game is going to be very important for us, and you see this one's especially important.
Got last one on Zoom. Matt, want to go ahead?
Before we get into the juicy details, let's set the scene. As you can see from these standings, the WNBA playoffs are quickly approaching, tensions are higher than ever, teams are fighting for those vital playoff spots, and every game matters. It's in this high-stakes environment that ESPN chose to reveal some shocking information about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, But this is where things start to get interesting because, rather than the hate fest we were anticipating, all we hear from the ESPN analysts is praise for Clark and her team and talk about a plot twist.
This is what the WNBA standings look like right now. 7 of the top 8 teams have clinched their playoff appearance. Number 8 is still very much up for grabs. The teams that you see 8 through 11 could all end up in that final spot. LA.
Let's examine the true nature of this situation. As you may have heard, the ESPN panel with experts Monica and Carolyn begins by talking about the current WNBA rankings. They are all business, detailing which teams have secured playoff positions and which are still vying for the final coveted spot. But then something unexpected occurs.
Well, I think the New York Liberty, y'all, they are in a do-or-die situation. I think it's their year. I like the way that they are playing. They've got 4 players that are scoring double digits. Sabrina Ionescu is having a fantastic year in terms of taking the next leap in her game. And frankly, due to contracts, if they don't get it done this year, I'm not sure how that's going to go as you look forward in terms of the future of this organization.
When looking at Caitlin Clark's numbers, Carolyn doesn't hesitate to name the Indiana Fever as the most dangerous team in the lower playoff seeds. And guess who's at the center of her praise? Caitlin Clark herself. If ESPN were truly disparaging Clark, you would expect them to minimize her skills or highlight her flaws. But instead Carolyn goes on a full-fledged hype train for Clark and the Fever.
Bottom half, I think that Indiana is a problem. Yeah. And the way that they are playing as of late, when you look at the numbers of what Caitlin Clark...
She is essentially raving about Clark's progress since entering the league and how she has adjusted to the fast-paced nature of professional games. But wait, it gets much better. Let me tell you, Carolyn's detailed analysis of Clark's game is just brilliant.
Her improvement and how she has adjusted to the speed of the game, and her players have gotten used to playing with her. She knows how to lay it out on a dime.
Take a look at that pass from behind. Carolyn specifically mentions how much she enjoys watching Clark execute this spectacular yet successful play. If you're like me, you're probably wondering where all of this supposed hate is coming from because all I'm hearing is an ESPN analyst gushing about Caitlin Clark's abilities and contribution to the second game of.
Court vision is impeccable, and now her teammates are ready to catch the ball. They trust she's going to get it where it needs to be. But y'all, the favorite part of my game from Caitlin Clark is this behind-the-back pass. Come on now. Come on.
However, the Clark Love Fest doesn't stop there. The panel continues by talking about how Clark and her colleague Aaliyah Austin have forged an amazing on-court bond, pointing out that they are the only 2 players in the league outscoring each other. Clark is maintaining an elite business with Asia Wilson and Jackie Young, who are both tremendously powerful in their own right, and ESPN is making sure that everyone is aware of it. The analysts' discussion of the relationship between Clark and her teammates is particularly intriguing. They point out that Clark's teammates have grown accustomed to playing with her unique style and trust that she will find them in the ideal position for a score when she has the ball. This isn't just excellent basketball, it's the epitome of teamwork and leadership.
I believe we're a Clark-Boston connection. Those 2 have been the second best scoring duo in the league behind Asia Wilson and Jackie Young. It has been so incredibly efficient.
But the Clark Love Fest doesn't.
The panel goes so far as to say that the Fever are playing joyfully, gellingly, and enjoying themselves. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that doesn't seem like criticism to me. Rather, it seems like ESPN is portraying a team that is uniting at the ideal moment, with Caitlin Clark serving as the catalyst for their success.
The numbers bear it out. They've been on terrific tears since the All-Star break, but it also looks like they're playing with joy. They are gelling and having fun.
The analysts are quick to highlight how Clark's presence on the court is improving her teammates, not just her offensive prowess. They specifically mention Kelsey Mitchell, who has been playing exceptionally well lately, averaging 25 points per game in August, and Lexi Hall, who has been making waves in the starting lineup with her defensive abilities. This is where things get really interesting, though.
Mitchell, 25 points a game in August, had 25 in her game in September. You better watch out for her. And Lexi Hall in the starting lineup. That's a defender they need. So fun to watch right now.
Even in games that are already finished and out of reach, Angel Reese's tactic of boasting about her stats has grown alarming as she consistently raises them. Thanks for watching my video.
I thought we could have came out with a little more energy. I thought we seemed a little bit flat. And I don't think that wasn't because of we felt complacent with already being in the playoffs or anything like that. I'm just not sure if our energy was quite where it needed to be, and I thought we could have picked that up a little bit better. We weren't always on the same page, and I think that kind of started from the beginning. We didn't really play with as much pace as we usually do at moments. We definitely did, but I didn't think it was consistent throughout the game. And then obviously we could have taken care of the ball a little bit better. I think, we win by 10 to 15, maybe even more than that if we just take better care of the ball. So I think something you go back and watch, and we know on Friday we got to come out with a lot more energy.
We got low, then we'll go in the back to Dom.
Earlier. Last week, Coach was talking about the improvement of the team that she cited. Toughness and maturity has come out in the last month since the Olympic break and those practices. Do you feel like this fourth quarter was an example of that, where you got challenged, you made some runs, but you couldn't put them away, but you had to fight them off again?
I think in the course of the season, it's about making sure that we're able to close out games. There are some games that we lost at the beginning of the season because our fourth quarter wasn't great, and so even going into this fourth quarter, you just emphasize that, listen, this is the fourth quarter, 10 more minutes, we have to give it all our best. We knew that they weren't just going to lay down and let us take the game, and so just making sure that if they score, then we have to score and then get a stop, and that's really our mindset, especially in that fourth quarter.
We'll go down, then we'll go with Keem on the right.
For both of you, just 6 straight home games, including tonight, to get that homestand started off with a win, knowing how well you played already the second half. Crazy environment every night here. How's that feel to get that homestand started out right, knowing that you're just going to be here at home for so long?
I think it's important. These are games you really need to win at home, and the more we can win, the better we can position ourselves for the playoffs. So, and also we're just a competitive group of individuals. Like, nobody wants to lose. That's not fun, especially in front of these fans. That a lot of them, they only get to see the Fever play one time, and they spend a lot of money to come here and watch us and have fun with us. So, you want to kind of give them a show every single time we're in here, and honestly, it's a lot of fun. So, don't take that for granted, because before we know it, the season will be over, and I think this team is just...
She is essentially raving about Clark's progress since entering the league and how she has adjusted to the fast-paced nature of professional games. But wait, it gets much better. Let me tell you, Carolyn's detailed analysis of Clark's game is just brilliant.